Today, I want to actually talk about the dichotomy between geographical zones and geopolitical zone. We seem to, in my discussion, I actually seem to realize that there's this misconstrue about the actual meaning of geographical and geopolitical zones. Now, I've heard people actually make mention of the fact that you don't have anything like South-South. Geographically, you do not have anything like South-South. But before I actually go into the full details of actually what I actually want to say, let's go down memory lane a little bit, and let's look at the origin of this whole nomenclature. Number one, we were amalgamated in 1914. Nigeria was amalgamated in 1914. The fusion of the Northern and Southern Protectorate in 1914. By 1939, the Southern Protectorate was split into both Western and Eastern groups of provinces. And so we had a Northern Protectorate, or we had a Northern region, we had a Western group of provinces, and then the Eastern groups of provinces. By 1945, the country was divided into regions. So we had a Northern region, the Western region, and the Eastern region. Now, these were not geographical groupings. These were likely geopolitical. Because if we want to look at it based on the compass now, it's only fair enough that when you have a Northern region, you should have a Southern region, you should have an Eastern region, and you have a Western region. But because these groupings are largely political, we have a Northern region, we have a Western region, and an Eastern region, without a Southern region. By 1963, we had an additional region called the Mid-Western region. There is nowhere within the geographical compass that you can find the Mid-Western region. There's nowhere. But we had a Mid-Western region. And these regions have come to be accepted within our political groupings. By 1995, the Constitutional Conference of 1995, led by General Abacha, Alex Ekweme, then the chairman of the conference, recommended the groupings of Nigeria into geopolitical zones. Now, while we look at it based on geopolitical arrangements, what we're simply saying is that people should be grouped based on their cultural and political affinity, and not necessarily based on the geographical positioning. You have Northern region, you have Western region, you have Eastern region, and you have Southern region based on the compass. Now, when you look at the four cardinal points, you have the North, the South, East, and West. Now, amidst this point, you have the Northwest, the Northeast, the Southwest, and the Southeast. Now, geographically, if we were to look at it based on the compass, it is correct when you have North, South, East, West, Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, and Southeast. You don't have anywhere within the compass that is called North Central and South-South. Within the compass, you don't have that. But geopolitically, when regions are delineated geopolitically, they are largely political creations. And so geopolitically, it is correct to have a region called South-South, because these are geopolitical creations, not really based on the compass. You have North Central. These are geopolitical creations. They are geopolitical zones. and not geographical. So when people say there's nothing like south, we are east and north and west. There's nothing like south. Geographically, yes, but geopolitically, it is correct to call a region south or north central. We've come to accept that there's a region called the Middle East, from Western Asia to the Arabian Sea. But it has been accepted. These are geopolitical creations. You have the Far East. These are geopolitical creations, and they've come to be accepted. Now, if we all have accepted that there's a region called the Middle East, and we know them from Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, to Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, if we've defined these areas as Middle East, though they are not within the geographical compass, then there is nothing wrong to call a region south or north central, because these are largely geopolitical creations and not geographical in its sense when you look at the compass. So there is south geopolitically and north central, and not based on the compass.